to the third section of Unit 9. So today's lesson is going to be all about multiplying binomials. So this is something that we're going to be doing for most of the rest of the semester. So this lesson is going to be really important. So when I say binomial, so like x plus 4 is a binomial because we have two different terms being separated by addition or subtraction. So if I'm multiplying two binomials, that's one binomial. This would be another binomial, like 2x minus 3. So we're going to be multiplying things that look like this. So there's three different methods that we're going to be talking about. The first thing is using the distributive property. Next page, we're going to be talking about the FOIL method. And then our last method, we'll be talking about using a box or a table. This last method right here is probably going to be the one that most of you are going to use most often, but we'll get there. So in order to use the distributive property to multiply binomials, here's a little example right here. So you can look at that, but I'm just going to go right into example 1 to save some time. So to use the distributive property, I take the first term here. So s, and I'm going to distribute it, or I'm going to multiply it times the second binomial, so s minus 2. Then I'm going to take this sign, so plus, and whatever this is, so 4. I'm going to distribute this 4 to the second binomial, so s minus 2. So now we distribute, combine like terms, and we'll be done. So s times s squared, or excuse me, s times s is s squared. S times negative 2 is negative 2s. Now I'm going to distribute this 4. So 4 times s is 4s. 4 times negative 2 would be negative 8. So now I look for any like terms. So I got negative 2s and a positive 4s. Those are the only like terms. So s squared, negative 2 plus 4 is positive 2. So plus 2s minus 8, and we are done. So that's kind of how the distributive property works. So we're going to do that a few more times. So with this next example, so again, I always recommend pausing the video and trying these on your own if you can. If you need to watch, then of course watch, but try to do as much of this on your own as you can. So x, so take this term, distribute it to the second binomial, so x minus 4. Then I write the rest of the first binomial down, so minus 4. Distribute it to that second one again, so x minus 4. So now I distribute x times x is x squared. X times negative 4 is negative 4x. Now I distribute, don't forget to distribute the negative sign too. So negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. So a lot of people will forget to distribute this negative when they are multiplying times the second term. So most people will do negative 4x here, but a lot of people will put negative 16 or minus 16 here. Don't forget to distribute that negative sign. So we look for like terms, so we got a negative 4x, negative 4x. So x squared, negative 4x, minus another negative 4x, or excuse me, negative 4x minus 4x would be negative 8x plus 16. So example 2. So again, we're going to do the same thing. So I take the far left term, so 4x this time, times the second binomial, so 2x minus 5. Then I write the rest of the first binomial, so minus 4. And then I write the second binomial again, so 2x minus 5. So basically, I'm just distributing this 4x to the 2x minus 5, and then I distribute the negative 4 to the 2x minus 5. So 4x times 2x is 8. X times x is x squared. 4x times negative 5. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. We still have the x there. Now I'm going to distribute the negative 4. So negative 4 times 2x would be negative 8x. Negative 4 times negative 5 would be plus 20. So here are our like terms. So notice so far, and this is going to pretty much happen always when you do distributive property, but our like terms are always in the middle here. The two terms in the middle. So the first and last terms are not going to be affected when we combine like terms. So 8x squared, negative 20x minus 8x would be negative 28x, and then plus 20. And then finally our last one. So a lot of people, so this is another mistake a lot of people make. Do not, under any circumstances, when we are adding or subtracting things in the parentheses, do not distribute this. Do not say x squared minus 9. That is wrong. Do not do that. A lot of people will do that. So I'm trying to really emphasize it to make sure you do not distribute an exponent when there are pluses and minuses in here. You can only do that when you're multiplying. So another way to write x minus 3 all squared would be like this. This just means we have x minus 3 times x minus 3. So now I can distribute, I'll take the first term or the far left term, so x times the second binomial, and then I write the rest of the first binomial times the second binomial. So x times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is plus 9. So these are our like terms here. So x squared, negative 3x minus 3x is negative 6x plus 9. So moving on to the next page. So now we're going to talk about the second method, which is the FOIL method. So the FOIL method only works when we have two binomials, which is all we've had so far. But sometimes, like in the last example here, you'll have three terms. You have a trinomial and a binomial. The FOIL method does not work with this, just to give you a heads up. So FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. So it gives you kind of a step-by-step guide here. So you can pause the video and take a look at that if you want. I'm going to go straight into example 3. So using the FOIL method, we start. Let's see if I can match up the colors here. So we use red for the first. So s times s is s squared. For the blue, I'm going to do the outside. So the two things on the outside are s and negative 2. So negative 2 times s is negative 2s. Inside, so the two numbers on the inside are 4 and s. So it's positive 4, so plus 4s. And then finally the last. So the last number in the first binomial is 4. The last number in the second binomial is negative 2. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So then we just combine like terms. So s squared, negative 2s plus 4s is plus 2s, and then minus 8. So this way is a little bit shorter than using the distributive property, but if it doesn't make sense to you, then don't do it. So again, never ever distribute an exponent when you have pluses or minuses inside the parentheses. I cannot do that. So you have to write this out like this: x minus 5 times s, or x minus 5. That's what the squared means. So now if we're using FOIL, FOIL starts with f, so that's first. So x times x is x squared. Outside, x and negative 5. So x times negative 5 would be minus 5x. Inside, so negative 5 times x is another negative 5x. And then finally the last, so negative 5 and negative 5, it's positive 25. So x squared, negative 5x minus 5x is negative 10x plus 25. So that would be our answer right there. So example 4. So first thing we're going to do is first, so 2x times 3x is 6x squared. Then we do the outside. So 2x times y. That's just 2xy. Then we do the inside. So negative 5y times 3x. So negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. X times y is xy. And then the last number is negative 5 and y. So negative 5y times y would be negative 5y squared. So we see some like terms right here and right here. So we're going to combine those and then we'll be done. So 6x squared, 2xy minus 15xy. That's 2 minus 15 is negative 13. So negative 13xy minus 5y squared. And then finally, so first, 2x times x is 2x squared. Outside, 2x times negative 2, that's negative 4x. Inside, so 3 times x is just 3x. And then the last, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So 2x squared, combine the two like terms here. Negative 4x plus 3x is negative x, or negative 1x. So 2x squared minus x minus 6 is our answer. And then finally, the method that I said you'll probably use most often is this little box method. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first term, and it doesn't matter if you put it on the top or on the side, but I'll just put it on the top. So 3x is going to go above the first column, and then plus 1. Then I'm going to take the second binomial, x plus 4. So now basically I'm finding the area of each of these little squares here. So 3x times x is 3x squared. 1 times x is just x. 3x times 4 is 12x. 1 times 4 is 4. So these terms on the diagonal are always, pretty much always going to be like terms. So those are always going to get combined. So I have, to get the answer to this, by the way, you just add up everything that's inside of the box. So 3x squared plus 12x plus x plus 4. So 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. And then the last example here. So since we have a trinomial, something with 3 terms, I have to have 3 on one of the sides of the boxes. So whatever side has 3 spots, that's where I'm going to put the 3 things. So 2x squared minus 3x plus 11. And then on the side with 2 spots, I'm going to put the x minus 3. So x and then minus 3. So now again, I'm finding the area of each of these things. So 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. Negative 3x times x is negative 3x squared. 11 times x is 11x. 2x squared times negative 3 is negative 6x squared. Negative 3x times negative 3 is positive 9x. And then 11 times negative 3 is negative 33. So if you look, you can see that these are like terms, these are like terms. To get our answer, we just add up everything in there. So if you want to combine the like terms right away, you can, or you can do it separately. So 2x cubed, I got a negative 6x squared and a negative 3x squared. So if I combine those, I get negative 9x squared. 11x and 9x, if I combine those, I get 20x. and then minus 33. And that's your answer.